No, Tali's waiting for a stapler. Unfortunately, but there's nothing else either. All right, Zok the Gemara. We're going to start from Ayin Beis on the Beis on the bottom. V'hai l'hachi dasa, the last line. So we had in the Mishnah, Tanakama says when it comes to the mincha of a kohen, there's no kmitza. Why? Because the whole thing goes on the mizbeach. Comes Reb Shimon and says no. Even though the entire minchas kohen goes on the mizbeach, nevertheless we do kmitza. Stop. You do kmitza and then you put everything on the mizbeach. So the Gemara says, according to Reb Shimon, how do we know that there's a difference between the kmitza and the shirayim? In other words, if, according to Tanakama, you do kmitza in order for the rest of it to go to the kohen, but according to Reb Shimon, the kmitza doesn't give you the rest of the kohen. So how do you know that the shirayim goes to the kohen? By chitin we have a pasuk. It's mefurish. The shirayim goes to the kohen. Not by a minchas chayt, in general, by a minchas so'irim. So the Gemara brings a pasuk, v'chol mincha belula b'shemen v'chareva. It's extra, and the Gemara learns it out to tell me that according to Rabbi Shimon, the shirayim of minchas so'irim goes to the kohen. Now we're holding v'hai. Just a review. V'hai lahachi da'asa. Your wife is in America already? You're falling apart before that? Oy vavoy. Can you imagine what happens when she's gone? How can you tell me that the pasuk is Seder? I'm just putting him in his place. So Be'ezer Hashem, when is she going? This week? I'll be there too.
Maybe he'll work better.
I think so, especially now with the Musar. So the Gemara says we don't have an extra pasuk. Now we're going to go through more than a half a amud to get to the point. The point is that the pasuk, the chol mincha, belula b'shem v'chareva, is needed for one halacha, and not to tell me the halacha that we just said that shirayim goes to the kohen. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. So the Brisa goes like this. How do you know that when the Torah says that the Kohanim get to eat from the mincha or from a carbon, they don't have rishus to make deals with it? They could eat whatever they want, but even if it comes to a point where every Kohen gets a tiny bit, less than a kezayis, they shouldn't say, you know what, I'll take today, you take tomorrow. I'll take the mincha, you take the carbon. I'm a vegetarian, so you take my meat. Don't do deals. How do we know? In all sorts. You can't switch a mincha for meat. It says every mincha. It goes to every kohen. And therefore, every kohen has a right to it. Now you want to give it away, you want to be nice, that's fine. You don't have to eat it, but you can't make deals. You can't force another kohen to give you something. Okay, fine. So I understand you can't switch a mincha for zevach, because by a mincha, what's a mincha? A mincha comes for somebody that's poor and can't afford a carbon in certain situations, like a chayte. Maybe you could switch, you could trade, so to speak, a mincha for a bird. Because birds also, the first step, if you're poor, the first step is, if you can't afford an animal, you bring a bird. Can't afford a bird, you bring a mincha.
What does that phrase mean?
When you're poor, you could bring a mincha instead of a carbon. You could bring a bird instead of a carbon. So a bird and a mincha are in the same category because they come for poor people. But meat never comes for a poor person. Not never, but it's not instead of. So did a little different because yesterday I noticed that when I do it in red, it doesn't come out on video. Now, let's see. Akopanim. It says v'chol mincha. What does v'chol mincha mean? Every mincha. So then what's extra in this pasuk? Bar cheshes machavas. It says every mincha. So memela, I have two extra words to learn two limudim from. So that teaches me even birds. You can't trade a mincha for a bird. Okay, so maybe it makes sense to exclude birds. You can't trade a bird for a mincha because they're not the same type of thing. One is blood, one is alive, and one is bread. Maybe you could trade a bird for meat, right? In the restaurant, they go together. The chicken, meat, it's a type of a dish. I'll trade one for the other. So that's the second word. That's what's extra. The second word, I learn out that you can't trade anything. Maybe it makes sense that I can't trade a bird for a bird is maliko with the finger, and an animal is with a kli, with a knife. Oh, so finally we came to the pasuk that we're looking for. This pasuk that we used yesterday for Reb Shimon to say that the shirayim go to the kohen. Over here it says that you use the pasuk to say that you can't trade a mincha for a mincha. Maybe it makes sense. Okay, you can't trade two different types of menachos. One that was made in a deep pan, one was made in a flat pan. One is soft, one is hard. Maybe you could trade the identical mincha to another identical mincha. You take Sunday, I'll take Monday. This is all the brisa, but we already hit our point. The point is, the pasuk is not extra.
I was talking about
what?
You said Monday and I'll take Tuesday. It could be Monday for Monday also.
Yeah, I'll just give you an example. Because what's going on? We have different mishmaras. You have 24 mishmaras. They're all the same family. There's a base after each day. Whatever, they're all family, but it's within the same week. He's not hungry now. He doesn't want it now. He says, you take now, I'll take later. Maybe there's a thing that you could trade when it comes to lesser kedusha, something like shlamim. So, there's a whole thing here. Okay, ish ke'achiv. The following pasuk after that, it says, the next pasuk is v'im al toida. Keshem sheim cholkim bekochim kochim, kach in cholkim bekochim kalim. Now the Gemara goes weiter. Ish choylek v'afilu balmum. Vein kotem choylek v'afilu tam. So we have the whole brayz in front of us. We learned the pasuk. These words, belula, chareva, are not extra anymore. I need them to tell me the halacha of you can't trade, and not to tell me that shirayim goes to the kohen. Says the Gemara, the Teretz. Ahu, this whole brayz that we just learned, mikol nafka, from this pink word, kol, not the vav, kol. That's how we learned everything. And Chizkiah, yesterday's Chizkiah, that said that we learned from belula v'chareva that it's all extra, that it goes to the kohen. He learned it from the rest of the pasuk. He actually had the stronger part of the pasuk. This whole brisa is from the first word, kol. It could have said mincha belula v'chareva, and it says kol mincha, so the word kol is extra. We had, unlike Samach Vav, we had that Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda, he was trying to explain the nafkamina between Reb Shimon and Chachamim, how come Samach Gimel? How come Reb Shimon and Chachamim have a machlokes whether or not in the Mishnah, whether or not Rikikin, we actually touched upon it yesterday, Rikikin and Chalois are one mincha? Could you mix them together, do 5 and 5, or you have to separate them? It have to be 10 Rikikin or 10 Chalois. So he brought Gzeir Shava, V'chol mincha, and he learned it out from Belula v'Chareva. Just like Belula v'Chareva are two separate Menachos, and it says V'chol, so the V'chol over there teaches us that's two separate Menachos, and you cannot combine them. Akopanim, he's using the word V'chol. Says the Gemara, he's not using the word V'chol. Elahu mivichol. The Vav. Over here, that's Rabbi Yossi. The Chol is the Braisa, and Belula v'Shemen is Chizkiah. So we have 3 different drashas here. The Vav teaches us that Chavitin and Rikikin are different menachos. The Chol teaches us that you can't trade. The rest of the pasuk, Belula v'Chareva, teaches us that a kohen gets Yirayim according to Rabbi Shimon in Sa'irim. Very good.
So which one did we change the other day? We said that we're learning from
Yeah. The other sugis are in our sugya Chizkiah that learns Shirayim is from this whole pasuk. Belur v'Charev.
And you have a sheet with that with each one made in like this?
No, that's for. Let me see what I do. No, that's the next sugya. That's coming up. There's actually supposed to be 2 sheets like this, but it just takes a lot of time, so I gave up. You just copy and paste this sheet to the next pasuk and fill in the blanks over here. We'll get there. Zog the Gemara. Rabbeinu Omar. Rabbeinu has a new pshat, a new way to learn shirayim of a minchas sa'irim goes to the kohen, according to Reb Shimon. Midatani Levi. Levi is the one that was Mesader the Brises. He made like a whole. Ravina is explaining Reb Shimon. I don't know if he agrees or not agrees. He's explaining within Reb Shimon. Yes, a new source. Everything we learned until now is one source. There's another source. Der Chagav, since there's noise, I started the story yesterday with noise. We'll say, a few people asked me, so do I really believe that going to the Kaisel 40 days does it work? And the answer is yes, but I have a pshat. It does. It does. But it also works to go, because somebody told me that she went to a certain Rebbe's kaver. He was just nifter like a year ago. She went 40 days and in Mamish a big nace happened. So I learned from that a big yisod. It has nothing to do with the kaisel, has nothing to do with the kaver. It has to do with one thing. It has to do with davening seriously. Have pure kavanah. Now when you go to the kaisel and you daven for something and they tell you that this is going to work, so you're pure kavanah. It's like 1 minute of pure concentration, you mamish, you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you do it at the kaisel, it's at the kaisel. You do it at Kever Rachel, it's Kever Rachel. She thought that this Rebbe has powers, so her tefillah, it's not the Rebbe, and it's not the kaisel. It's the, me as a Litvak, I can't believe that was the Rebbe, so Mela. It's not about the kaisel, it's about the Yomi. Very good.
Maybe it's about if you do something 40 days.
Exactly, 40 days.
The fact that you want that.
I don't think you could daven. I mean, you could theoretically. For me, to have that mamish, that emunah that it's going to happen, and I'm now talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu one-on-one at home in your room, it usually doesn't work. If you can make it work, it works. All the shtick that has to be at that time, that this and that is just a way to tell you concentrate.
You could do it
That's my theory.
One time also.
You don't have to agree with me, but fine. When she told me that mamish, and she told me a nace nigla that happened to her, then I said, it can't be. There goes the Fine. Zog the Gemara. We'll explain to you everything afterwards. Amen. Fine. Says Ravina. So some of you have the sheet in front of you. If not, you could share with somebody next to you. Here's the pasuk. From the fire. The Gemara is going to talk about this word in a fire. Called karbanim is extra. L'chol menchasam, l'chol chatasam, l'chol hashamam. Asher yishibu. Everything that's highlighted, which is the entire pasuk, is a drasha. And what's the drasha? It's right on top of it. If we want, we could go through it quickly because what the Gemara is going to do is give the drasha, and then instead of continuing, the Gemara says, "But why do I need this drasha?" And then it goes to the next thing. So maybe in order just to have some sort of flow, we'll go through it in 10 seconds. This is that the Kohanim get to share in everything, including kol karbanim, all the karbanos. What? It comes to be mimarba, the oil of a mitzayra. I would think not. Yes, even the oil of mitzayra, the Kohanim get to share. The chol menchasim comes to say even the omer and the saita. The chol chatasam, even a bird that's a chatos, they get to share. The chol ashamam, even the asham nazir. And Asher Yeshivu is the Gezel Ager, and L'chahu Ulevanecha means that the Gezel Ager goes to, you could even use it for Kiddushin. Although Rashi, not the Rashi, the one that's on top says that it goes on the entire pasuk to be discussed. With the Gezel Ager. And we'll explain everything, but let's see it inside now. It says, I would think that the oil of the Mitzayra that he brings when he's done with his tzaras, I would think the Kohen doesn't get to share it. Why? Because it says in the pasuk, min ha'esh, anything that goes on the fire, and oil doesn't go on the fire, so Memela, the Kohen doesn't get to drink it. Because of Rahman, Kamash Malon, that he does get to share in it, he gets to drink it, he gets to use it. That they also get to eat the leftover of the oimer, the shiraim of the oimer, and the shiraim of the minchasoita. It says mufurish in the Torah, they get to eat something that is a kapara. Now these two are not a kapara, Omer Rachmana. The oimer comes not to forgive Klal Yisrael, but to allow them to eat the new crop, Chodosh. And why does a Saita bring a mincha? To figure out whether or not she's a Saita, but not because she did an Avera. So it doesn't fit into the pasuk Kupar Bohem. So therefore the Torah comes in and includes it as well. They get to share in it. They get to eat the entire Chatasoif. None of it goes in the Mizbeach. Since it was killed through a Malika, it's an Avela. Komash Malon. I'll think, okay, the Torah says this is how you shecht it, this is how you get rid of it. You do Malika and you put it on the Mizbeach. But I wouldn't think that you could eat it. It's still Malika. Komash Malon. Yes, they could eat it. What's a typical asham? A asham is like a chatas. It comes for an avera. But this is different. So first of all, the Gemara says, no, it can't come to include both the Asham Nazir and Asham Tzara. It says, Mefurish in the Torah, Ki kachatas ha'asham ula kohen. It goes to the kohen. Fine, you're right. Asham Nazir. It comes to include Asham Tzara, just like the Asham Tzara. That's what I meant to say. So it's not coming for kapara. It's only coming to make him kosher, go back to where he was, his status before he's done with his Nazirus. He needs to go back to being a regular person, but not as a kapara. Kamash Malam, they get to eat from it. Now, at the end of the pasuk, it says, Asher Yeshivu is a Gezel Ager. What's Gezel Ager? Somebody steals from a ger, and he swears that he didn't steal from him. Now, he admits that he did, they found out he did, so now he owes a chaimish. Problem is, the guy dropped dead. He has no yarshim. What do you do with the money? Special halacha, the money that you owe, including the chaimish, go to the kohen. Says the Gemara, L'chahi ulevanecha, and the last part of the pasuk, we skipped two words. L'chahi ulevanecha. What? L'chayra, this gezel ager goes to you and your sons. It's yours, different than everything else. Shalchahi ulevanecha afilu kadosh boisa isha. That you have a special halacha that you could be mekadesh a woman with it. It's very interesting. Yesterday, I told my chavrusa that I remember that we just learned it, this halacha, and we were searching for it. We couldn't really find it in Menachos, but I was doing chazar on Avodah Zarah, and I learned it yesterday in Avodah Zarah. And it's interesting in Avodah Zarah and Taisus. I remember there's a Taisus brings over there that it's dafka halacha by kiddushin, and it brings two reasons: either for period of Arabia we were mater, or What was the other reason? Dafka by Kiddushin.
That what?
That it works. But if you look at the top Rashi,
If he buys the property with it, it doesn't work.
yeah, that's what he says over there.
It says right here that it
Kedusha
works.
Yisha. Now,
Why wouldn't it-
what's interesting? Let's stop for a second. L'chol levanecha. What does it go on? That a kohen can be mekadesh his wife with it. Maybe he can mekadesh his wife with a mincha. He has a mincha. He gets a piece of carbon. He's going to be mekadesh her. It's in the nice state. Look at the top part of Rashi, not the Ksav Yad part. The last Rashi, second last Rashi. Shechohem kol hani de misrabu mahaykra. It goes on the entire pasuk, and this is a big pella, because it's not the kohen's to do whatever he wants with it. It's his to eat in the Beis Hamikdash, and that's it. If he's hungry, he gets to eat. He can't take it home and be mekadesh a woman with it. And that's why the other Rishonim say that Shulchaim is dafka referring to Gezel Ager. Gezel Ager, it's special money that goes into your pocket. Do whatever you want with it. Be mekadesh a woman with it. Fine.
Why can't he bring a woman to the Azara?
Because maybe it's just like a special matana, like a mincha and like a carbon. There you can. According to most Rishonim, not. If we go back, I don't know if you understood me correctly, or maybe I said it wrong yesterday, and I probably did. But Rebbe Tzal Ashkenazi is the Shita Mekubetzes. He's the one that says that the top one is not Rashi, and he found the bottom one, V'hu Parshin Acher. I don't know if everybody has it. Some Gemaras don't have it. V'zeh Lashon Rashi Ksav Yad, and the bottom one is Lashon Rashi Ksav Yad. That's Tzal Ashkenazi. It could be I said yesterday as if it was Rashi writing it himself. Fine. Omer Avuna, new sugya. Turn the page. Ein Gimel Amud Beis. Shalmei ha'oived kachavim oilos. There's two types in the Davos in the world. If a person wants to donate a carbon to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he gives the famous one a oila or a shlamim. The difference would be that a oila goes on the mizbech kolil. There's nothing left for the kohen, and a shlamim part of it goes to the kohen. Says the Gemara, a major chiddush. If a guy says, I want to bring a shlamim to the Beis HaMikdash, we ignore him and we say everything is an oila. Yibayisei makra, yibayisei misvara. Yibayisei misvara, it's logic. A guy doesn't know the halachas of carbon. A guy doesn't know that part of it goes to the kohen. He has no intention to feed the kohen. He wants to bring a carbon to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So when he says the carbon, yeah, right. You mean, okay, fine. Liba l'shamayim. He has no idea that he gets it, the kohen gets it, whatever. He just wants the whole thing to go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Even though he said the word shlamim, we ignore his words, we go by his machshava. It's interesting halacha. It's like a umdana de mucha. We understand that the guy doesn't know the halacha. It's pasha that what he meant is that everything should go to the mizbeach.
The guy doesn't understand that the animals can be used for good things.
No, it's
It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's just very simple. He brings a carbon and goes to
the
Hashem.
in India give their hair. They don't care that the priests are making money out of it. They're just giving the hair to the Barazar. They're giving everything. They're not trying to make a profit out of it.
The whole thing's not true. The whole thing never happened. Especially that my daughter is a sheitel macher.
He was there.
Lehoyev le'nivra. What?
He was there.
No, you're right. It's a good point. That maybe they do get money for it. Who says they don't get money? They don't. Okay. V'yibayisei makro. This you actually need this piece of paper for a second. Although the Gemara later on says it mafurish, but as the Gemara says it here, it's not so understandable. The Gemara brings a pasuk. Asher yakrivu Hashem la'oila. So what if it says Asher yakrivu Hashem la'oila? What does that have to do with anything? Read the pasuk. Ish mish Beis Yisrael. It says mamish Beis Yisrael. A Jews bring oila, and the Gemara says talking about a guy. So the pshat is pashut, and that's why I put it out here. Ish. It says two ish. And the Gemara is going to bring later. The second ish is extra, referring specifically to a guy. And this whole pasuk is talking about a guy. The Gemara says, Asher yakrivu Hashem le'oila, that what they bring, their makriv, goes as an oila.
Why do you need a star? There it is.
Right. The Gemara says you don't need a svara. You can do it iboisema without it. But if you're going to be smart and say, no, it's not like India, it is like this, a svara you could always argue with.
What kind of gift is that? The Gemara also talking about Israel.
So you're right, ish. The ish part Let's see. Zog the Gemara. Asher Kivil Hashem Lo'ilo. Called the Mikarva Oilo Leheve. What is the nafkamina between if you do by Svar or you do by a pasuk? What would be the nafkamina lamaisa lahalacha lamaisa?
If you have a scarf, the cat.
If a guy comes over and says, "Hello, I really am letting
Exactly.
you know right now."
Exactly.
I want to give it.
Exactly. If a guy says straight out, I know, no, not about the dead. He says, I know what a shlomim is. I know that it goes to the kohen, it goes to me. That's how I want it. I want the kohen to benefit from it. So then a pasuk is not going to help. I mean, you don't go to the pasuk. The svar helps that it goes to the kohen. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. But if you have a pasuk, then it doesn't matter what he says. Sorry, everything becomes. Mosiv Rav Chama bar Guria. How can you bring? It says Yisrael. It says straight out that a guy could give a korban shlamim, and the Yisrael eats it, the kohen eats it. Why are you telling me it becomes a oila? Amar Rava Achi Kamar Al Menashi Iskaber B'M Yisrael Oichlam. Al Menashi Iskaber B'M Kohen Oichlam. If a guy comes and says, I'm bringing a shlamim instead of the Jew that owes a shlamim. He heard his neighbor say that he wants to bring a shlamim, and he's a nice guy. He says, you know what? He doesn't have the money. It costs $500. I'm donating a shlamim for his chiyuv. Then that Yisrael obviously gets to eat it because it's not for the guy; it's for the Yisrael. That's the case. Otherwise, a guy that says, I'm bringing my own shlamim, he doesn't get the kohen doesn't get to eat it. Moser Rav Shezvi, Elu Menachos Nikmatzos v'Shiyareim LaKohen. It says Mefurish in our Mishnah. These are the Menachos that you do kmitza, and the leftover goes to the kohen. Minchas goyim. Omar Rabbi Yochanan like Ashia. Ha Rabbi Yitzchak Lili. Ha Rabbi Akiva. The Sanya. Ish. Matam Eloimer ish. Why say ish twice? L'Rabbi Zoydik Chavim Shenoidrim Nidarim Unidavis Ki Yisrael. Asher Yekriv Hashem. This is the puzzle I was talking about. That really I should have made a whole fancy sheet with each word, what it comes to do, but I was running out of time. But now that you understand the concept, we're going through the whole pasuk. Every word has a drasha. Asher Yakriv Hashem le'oilo, Einli elo oilo, Shlomim minayin, Tamad loymar nidreihen. All the nidarim, including a shlomim, including oil. Toida minayin. How do I know that a guy could donate a toida? Tamad loymar nidvoisam.
And still isn't Allah.
Correct. That he could do a toida. We're going to see.
But
There's only one.
But I told 10 of the loaves of chametz, and we said that chametz came from his bed.
Oh, what? So?
So how is
Yeah, he's just showing off his chazar now.
If a guy comes and brings the Torah,
Yes, sorry,
this
no.
is the Torah.
Yeah.
We just said now it becomes an oleg over his back. But 10 of the loaves of the Torah are chametz, and they're not like
He's asking, what do you do with the bread?
What do you do with the bread? That's your kasha?
don't run his back.
I don't know. Good kasha. Why can't you bring on the mizbeach? So if it's the, well, I don't get the kasha. 10 loaves of bread. So you bring the 10 loaves. Everything that comes to it, they have to bring the sachem. They have to bring this. Why can't you bring bread?
We said before that chametz doesn't go on his back.
Yeah, but 10 loaves of bread don't go on the mizbeach. Why do the 10 loaves of bread go on the mizbeach?
Because if the Kohen brings the Torah, we say it becomes an olah automatically.
Yeah, but not the kohen.
What?
The guy, not the kohen. This pasuk again. This pasuk is going on a guy. That a guy could make any nether, any nedava, just like a Jew, excluding only one thing he can't do, as we're going to see. So a guy could bring a oila shlomim, nidreim, toida. How do you know that a guy could donate a toida that has loaves of bread? Minayin tamaloima nidvaisam.
And it's a regular Torah.
Yeah,
He brings his friends and eats it in one day.
maybe. No, but
His Jewish friends, his Dutch friends.
it could be but it could be that it becomes a oila. It becomes a oila. It's not edible.
So he doesn't bring this Torah the way a Jew.
But when he says I'm bringing a toida, it becomes a oila. I think. Anybody say different?
When a guy comes and brings the Torah, it becomes a regular Torah like a Jew and he eats it with his friends.
No.
Or it all goes
Like we said before, that we said before that a shlomim become a oila. So I don't know.
No, according to Rabbi Segel, it could be anything.
Right, Rabbi Kiva says, it's Rabbi Kiva, right, that's the machlokes. So yeah, so what's the problem with him eating breads with his friend? The carbon itself you have a problem with or not?
Well, maybe he's bringing his Goyish friends or his Jewish friends? They're eating together bread in the Beis Hamikdash?
What's the difference? He's a guy and he's eating a carbon, so his Goyish friends are eating with him. I don't know. You're asking how could a guy eat it in dava?
He can't eat it. The honey could eat it. He can't eat it. The boy can't eat it.
Okay. Koyanim are eating it.
10 minutes.
Toidim inayin. 13 minutes. Toidim inayin tamaloi minute voisam. Minayin l'rabbi soifos. Pretend that nidvoisam is highlighted. Minayin l'rabbi soifos. What kind of oifos? There's only two types of birds. A chatos and a oila. Again, so Rashi over here says it's talking about a oila. Because a goy doesn't have a chatos. He can't bring a chatos. This is oila. V'hayayin v'alavoyna v'aitzim. Remember this, that a goy could bring wine. Very important to remember. V'alavoyna, he could donate lavoyna. V'aitzim and wood. Tamaloy man nidreim l'chol nidreim. Nidvoisam l'chol nidvoisam. All types of nidavas. Imkei matamaloy mar oila. Ah, that's why it's hot here. This window's open. Imkei matamaloy mar oila. At the end of the day, the Torah says the last word in the pasuk is le'oila. So what do I do with it? Why say oila?
Why isn't that teaching that all these things become oila?
Oh, that was my mistake. It's machlokes. According to Rabbi Kiva, yes, that's exactly what's coming. According to Rabbi Segli, not. Oila prat l'nazirus divrei Rabbi Yossi Aglili that a goy cannot bring a carbon nazir. As we're going to see soon, become a nazir, so he can't bring in nazirus, but he can't say nazirus. Yeah, according to Rabbi, he can bring all these. He can bring anything he wants. He can bring a toida, shlamim.
He can bring a chatas and can't bring a asha.
Right.
But the only nidavas he could bring except oila and shlamim.
Rabbi Kiva omer asher yakiv l'Hashem lo'oila. Ein li elo oila bilvad. V'hai prat l'naziros ma'achan nafka ma'asim nafka. Why are you telling me you learn from the word oila? To exclude naziros, I learned from another pasuk that Be'el b'nei Yisrael. Talk to the children of Yisrael. In other words, only a Jew. V'amarta aleim ish ki yafli neder nozil lahazir. B'nei Yisrael noidrim ve'en oiv dekechavim noidrim. It says before in the pasuk that only a Jew could do it and not a goy. Imahasam havamina carbon udeloi leisi. Aval nazir is chol alayu. I think that a goy cannot bring a carbon, but he could become a nazir. Komash malon. So, if a goy cannot become a nazir, so then what's the chiddush that he can't bring a carbon nazirus?
It's a carbon. He said I want to bring a carbon.
But he can't. He himself can't become a nazir. So why in the bring a nazir? He can't.
He's a nazir.
So Tosfos says in nazir that the part is that he can't bring for the Jew, like we said before, that he can't bring a shlamim for a Jew, so he can't bring a carbon nazir for a Jew. Even that he can't do.
But he's not really bringing it. He's just sort of like donating on his behalf.
You're saying, yeah. What you're asking is that when he says a nazir, he doesn't really mean that he's a nazir. He's just trying to donate a carbon, but that doesn't work. It has to be chal on something. Kimanaz lahadisnan. Who does it go like? We have Shitas Rabbi Kiva that everything turns into oila. We have Rabbi Yossi Glili that he could bring all these nadavas, but he can't bring a carbon nazir. Or Rabbi Shimon shiva dvar miskinu bezdin. So over there it says in the Mishnah that if somebody sees a wandering animal next to the Beis Hamikdash, he's required to pick it up and bring it to the Beis Hamikdash, assuming that this wandering animal is somebody's carbon that got lost. So if it's a zachar, it's a oila. If it's in a cave, it's a shlamim. And we impose on him to bring whatever is necessary that goes along with the carbon. The yain. Says the Mishnah, the people, I guess they had that word in those days, the friar word. So I'm going to be friar, I'm going to bring it. And just let it loose, let it go. Let some other guy pick it up and he'll be chayiv in the wine. So they said, okay, fine, you're right. What?
Why can't we assume it's not hekdesh? They only not sure what you bring it to the
Because hekdesh is not going to lose karbanis. It's people that are shlomazels.
I know, yeah, exactly.
So it is. It does have kachim on it. It is.
Say the person was only matching once he went into the Beis Hamikdash.
We have to assume the worst. Since it's right next to the Beis Hamikdash, maybe he was Magdash.
And the Goran the flowers around.
So fine, they made a takana that you return the carbon, we'll take care of the wine. The Beis Hamikdash takes care of the wine. It's a takana. Shiva dvar miskinu bezdin. So this is one of and one of the things that were misakin then.
That was on the food base.
What?
Yeah, one of the things is what?
Food base. That was the one. That the base that takes care of the.
Are you looking in the side? The nun base. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be chazring other mesechtas. Menachos. So this is another one of the takanas. Not only where the misakin that the Beis Hamikdash takes care of the wine. Another one. What is it? Another case. A guy that sends his oila from far away. If he sent the wine with a grate, and we're going to discuss it tomorrow. Otherwise, an oila needs wine, and if he didn't send wine, we have to take care of the wine. Says the Gemara, let me Rabbi Yosef Glili. Rabbi Yosef Glili, who holds that a guy could donate anything, so a guy could donate wine. But Rabbi Kiva says that you can't donate anything, only an oila, so you can't donate wine. Anything that accompanies he didn't say oila, mamish, and then blinded, nothing else. He meant oila and whatever comes with the oila. Nisachim comes with the oila, so the guy could donate that as well. Mantana laha the Tanur Rabbanon Ezrach. It's talking about Nisachim in the pasuk, and it says Ezrach. It has to be a citizen, meaning a Jew. Ezrach maybe Nisachim, maybe Nisachim. So Rashi over here on the spot says to explain the sugya, and it's a little interesting when he says it. He's talking about Nisachim without a carbon, says Rashi. We have to understand. We're not talking about a carbon now. A guy does not bring wine without a carbon. Yacha. What? You can't just bring Nisachim. So maybe when he brings a carbon, also no wine. This is a way to bring a kacha. Mani lo Rabbi Yosef Glili, lo Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Yosef Glili we mentioned before Mefurish. Rabbi Yosef Glili says he can bring wine, he can donate wine, he can donate levina, he can donate wood. So why can't he donate wine? V'lo Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Yosef Glili ha'amar afilu yain nami. Rabbi Kiva ha'amar oila in midachin eloi. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yosef Glili can go according to everybody. Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Yosef Glili, you can say it goes according to Rabbi Yosef Glili samim mahiyain. You're right. When it says that a guy could donate everything, including wine, levina, and wood, you have to erase the word wood and levina, but not wine, because wine is mamish mefurish. He brings a pasuk. Ezrach brings wine and not a guy. But wood and levina, you don't have the pasuk. Fine. So you have to scratch that word out of there. Or Rabbi Kiva. So over here, l'chayra, the Gemara is saying that Rabbi Kiva is learning this whole brayso on wine that goes together with the carbon. Wine that goes together with the carbon, I'm asking that a guy could bring, because you can bring the oila, so you can bring the wine that goes together with the oila.
So this again says a guy, why does he still have to bring wine from the oil of a guy? Why does Rabbi Yosef really say that he has to bring wine? Because he holds you can't.
The first pshat is you can't bring wine, but with the carbon you say you could. But you don't have to, he just scratches wine. There is no wine according to Rabbi Yosef Glili. Forget it. He says you can't. The guy cannot bring wine.
So how can we say that if a guy sends that's not according to Shita? That if a guy sends an carbon,
so I don't know, because even Rabbi Kiva admits that with the carbon you could. So l'chayr Rabbi Yosef Glili would also admit that. Does Rabbi Yosef Glili agree to Rabbi Kiva?
Said no wine.
If Rabbi Yosef Glili holds no wine, does Rabbi Yosef Glili agree that in an oila, if he sent the oila, that he could donate wine?
Depends on what you guys said.
But I'm saying even on the Ibai Seima that says no, maybe I don't know.
He said no wine.
Okay, because Rabbi Kiva, even Rabbi Kiva, that's
Rabbi
mechulik.
Kiva.
Okay,
we
they're mechulik on me. They say no. Fine.
No,
That's your answer. According to Nachman and Ramata, no wine.
Even in Chol Chaverteh, it could be anything that's relevant to the oil, he could bring on his own also.
Oh, only according to Rabbi Kiva though. That's Rabbi Kiva. Like what? Like what? Like what?
Anything that's shy, like wine.
Okay, fine. 5 minutes. We're going deep into the next Talmud. Minani Mili, how do you know that the mincha of a chayta, according to Reb Shimon, needs kmitza? Reb Shimon says the kmitza doesn't do anything. It doesn't if anything, they say in Yiddish. Right? You do kmitza, and then you just take the kmitza with the shirayim, you put it on the mizbech. So what's the point? It's very interesting. This word kamincha, and I wanted to do a chart, but no time. Three ways we could use this word kamincha. What does kamincha mean? It should be to the kohen, like a mincha. What does that mean? So one pshat is that it's like a mincha of a nedava. Just like the kohen could bring a minchas nedava, and when the kohen brings a minchas nedava, who does the avodah of that mincha? The kohen himself. So when he brings a minchas choyte, he does the avodah himself. Kamincha, the kohen himself, he could do it. He's a bad guy. He just did an avera and he's bringing a mincha. Maybe somebody else should do it. No, he does it. That's one pshat. Now the Gemara says, no. Who told you to learn the word kamincha like that? I have another pshat. I have two pshat. I have three pshat in here. That I learned the word kamincha of a Yisrael. Just like when a Jew brings a mincha, you get to eat it. So your minchas choyte, when you bring it, it's kamincha of the Yisrael. You get to eat it. Maybe that's the pshat in the pasuk. But it says that anytime a kohen brings a mincha, you have to put it completely on the mizbeach and you don't get to eat it. Minchas nedavasai. That's referring only to one specific mincha. Now the Gemara is saying a third pshat in the word kamincha. Kamincha that you don't get to eat it at all. Magish chayvasa nedavasai. Man nedavasai in necheles, avchavasa in necheles. You almost finished the whole. Yeah, this is easy. What?
Imagine if a kohen is mefagel his own chatas. It's like the worst of the worst.
He came to bring. He tried to do. He tried to get a. How about the chat? Wow. How about he's mefagel b'mezeh the chatas that he came to bring on a pigul b'shoigig? All right. Omar Reb Shimon b'chinem avoisel lakoyin kiminchosoi. We're not done, Rabbi Isai. We're not done. You guys want to leave? You can leave. Hold on. This is funny. Okay, fine. You're not leaving. I'll put it down. B'chinem avoisel lakoyin kiminchosoi. It doesn't say that it should be his minchas. Chayva should be like nedava. It doesn't say kiminchosoi. It says kimincha. V'alo leinem al kimincha. Elamakesh choyte shekoyan kiminchas choyte sheyisrael. This is a hekesh. The minchas choyte to the choyte of Yisrael. Ma minchas choyte Yisrael nikmetzes. One halacha Reb Shimon learns out of here. Just like by the choyte of Yisrael, there's kmitza, and there's another part that the kohen gets to eat the shirayim. We only learn one part out of it. Minchas choyte shekoyanim nikmetzes. That's why he says that this kmitza by the mincha of a kohen. Ma minchas choyte Yisrael nikmetzes v'shirayim nechol. Maybe you should eat it also. Whatever is negaya to the kohen kamincha. What's negaya to the kohen? The kohen kamincha, but the only thing that's negaya to the kohen is the kmitza part. But the mizbeach, the part that goes in the mizbeach, that's another halacha. The whole thing goes in the mizbeach. Okay, tzad. So therefore, there's a big nafkamina. One thing that's negaya to the kohen, that's kmitza. You do a kmitza on the minchas kohen, on the chayt of a kohen. But to say that he eats it, no, he doesn't get to eat it. That the mizbeach gets to eat, because anything that has to do with eating, that's the mizbeach's department, and the mizbeach gets to eat the whole thing.
If he's allowed to eat his own chatas, then every time he's like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll make a good chatas.
Hit the X on top. Okay, shkoya. Everybody make a burden of foshes. You don't have to if you don't want to.